Welcome to Verbal Pick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. We'd like to welcome you all to the show. I mean, this is a hard show to do. We're dealing with two different generations. We're dealing with injustice for both parties. We're dealing with sloppy police work. We're dealing with the fact that a 15-year-old was sentenced to life for a murder she didn't commit. Evidence wasn't there. She got railroaded. They pinned the blame on her, I believe, to keep from doing any investigation work, to keep from doing paperwork, to keep from actually doing their job. They pinned a murder of Maria Palomino on young Jennifer Jeffrey, who was 15 years at the time. In the 8th grade. As a matter of fact, she had just turned 15 2 weeks prior. She hears a noise. She looks out her balcony. She gets the manager security. As a 24-year-old Eva Mondragon tells a young 15-year-old Jennifer Jeffrey to make a statement saying that you were with me, and because we have to protect both our families. If you don't do this, you'll be putting our families in danger. Now, we all know when you're young, and especially growing up in a black community, the older people, because Eva Moondragon was 24 years old. She instructed Jennifer Jeffrey to say that they were all together. And in the black community, you know, that's where you get your wisdom from. That's where you learn. That's your example of what to be when you grow older, or how to handle adult situations, because you look at the older people that's in your community on how they do it, and you grow up and say, I want to do it that way, because that's your only reality. Because TV is not real. So we want to get out the fake news today and deal with a real life situation and a person's life that's already spent 21 years of her life was wasted in jail behind a crime she didn't commit. Now the police said, well, look, we want to take you down to the station, ask you for questions for 30 minutes. The grandmother was like, well, okay, I'll ride with you all. They tell the grandmother there's not enough room in the police car. She said, okay, well, let me go get my purse and I'll follow you down to the station. They told her, okay. She leaves to go get her purse to go inside of her apartment, and the police drives out. Because it was premeditated. They had already knew that they were going to pin this on this young 15-year-old, because they said that she didn't have the mind to pose any objection to what they were going to do. They knew that by the age that they were, that they could manipulate her into confessing this murder. That's why they kept the mother at bay for 9 hours until they got a signed confession that they typed up. They told her, according to Miss Jennifer Jeffrey, you sign this confession and you get to go home. 15 years old, distressed, stressed, tired, scared. She wasn't offered any legal counsel. Her mother and grandmother wasn't present. she wasn't offered a right to an attorney. And they coaxed a confession up out of an 8th grader. They bullied the city of Houston bullied an 8th grader. Now, every professor of law, criminal law, should study this case. Every pastor, every preacher, minister, imam should study this case. Every citizen in Houston should study this case. And then you'll see why they have a slogan that Black Lives Matter. But that's just a slogan. We have to fight every day for the proof and evidence that Black Lives Matter due to the contrary treatment that we get in this society. And when you stand up for injustice, I'm sick of hearing people call it hate speech. It's nothing hate speech about a young 15-year-old doing life in prison for a crime that she didn't commit. This is not about race, but it is about race. But foremost, it's about a young 15-year-old girl losing the prime of her life due to a murder she didn't commit, and that was railroaded by the very same people that she trusted in, the system that she trusted in, the older people that she trusted. Everybody let this 15-year-old girl down. She was let down. The system, the community, the pastors, preachers, y'all failed Jennifer Jeffrey. White people, black people, Asians, Hispanics, you failed Jennifer Jeffrey. When you do not fight for the innocence of the youth, you don't drag away a 15-year-old girl without legal counsel or permission from their parents. You need a permission slip to do anything in Houston. Go on a field trip. You need a permission slip. You need permission from the parents. You don't question something as serious as murder without any representation for a 15-year-old, a minor. And let me show you how they railroaded her. Now in the state of Texas, 17, you can be charged as an adult. They charged at 15. With no legal counsel. Now, now, when the case was underway, and the court-appointed attorney never recalled one of their phone calls of Jennifer Jeffrey. The court-appointed attorney didn't even call her. So they wrote. And the court-appointed attorney didn't respond to the letters, didn't write back. I'm asking myself, and every tax-paying American needs to ask themselves, how can a 15-year-old be questioned on a murder charge without counsel or a legal guardian? And the only piece of evidence that they had linking her to the crime was the typed confession that the police typed and told her that if she signed it, she can go home at 15. They would believe that because you don't have any counsel to say, no, no, baby, they just playing with you. They not doing that. They trying to railroad you. She didn't have anybody to tell her that. She was failed. Society failed Jennifer Jeffrey. I'm asking President Trump to pardon. Let her out. This is a gross case of injustice. But the thing about it, if black people don't lift their voice for justice, and it has to be bigger than I didn't know the person. Because we've just witnessed a young black man in handcuffs. A cop pulls up to the scene gets out his car, runs, and just kicks him in the face. The city of Houston kicked Jennifer Jeffley in the face. With her hand cuffed behind her back, meaning she's 15 years old. You kicked the 8th grader in the face, city of Houston. And also, not just the 8th grader, Miss Maria Palomino also, because you allowed her killer to remain free while you coaxed the 15-year-old to take the fall. An 8th grader. And then what you did as well was you made the family of Miss Palomino accept something that they know was impossible. An 8th grader, 15, in junior high school. Come on. But they had to rationalize and see this is what makes race relations bad. So they would have to rationalize in their mind and say, well, you know, black people, though, no matter what the age, they're capable of doing something like that. Just so they can feel better about themselves. I mean, it's sad. It shouldn't be. Especially in this technological age. That no 15-year-old should ever be faced with an allocation of murder and have no legal counsel. That means that you can just walk to an 8th grade junior high school class, snatch up an 8th grader, take them down to the station, hold them for 9 hours, and then tell them that you sign this paper, you can go home. You're hungry, you're full, you miss your family, you're distraught, and just the last thing is trust. I trust your word that if I sign this paper, I'm going home. I'm ready to go. I'm tired. And then they arrest her. She has an alibi. At the time of the murder, she was on the phone with a family friend. The police never asked that family friend, or they never retrieved the phone records to prove it. They suppressed evidence. Simply because, hey, look, you come from a family that doesn't have the money to hire the top-notch lawyer, who's going to miss you anyway. We, the city of Houston, we're going to kick you in the face, Miss Jennifer Jeffley. Give you 21 years of your life so far, but it's 40 years sentence. She did 21 years. Locked up as an 8th grader. We're going to turn our back on you. But yet, we'll come out in the public and claim to be and make statements saying that we're not racist. All lives matter. But our actions, though, because the actions, that's the mathematics of a person. The action says otherwise. We see on television all the time black folks shot by police. I mean, no, literally. A young black male laying on the ground, hands behind his back. One officer, and this is how we tie this into Jennifer Jeffley's case. One officer gets out of his vehicle, runs over without investigating what's going on, and kicks the young black man in the face. Same with Jennifer Jeffrey. Officers take this young lady in for questioning, coax her into signing a confession that they typed without really investigating what was going on. That's sad. That's sad for every American that's moving throughout the city and surrounding areas of Houston. Slap in the face. Now that is a case of non-justice. So we asking people to help free Jennifer Jeffrey, or justice for Jennifer Jeffrey, or JJJ, which stands for Justice for Jennifer Jeffrey. This is Verbal Pig Radio. I want everyone to go and research this case. Just Google Jennifer Jeffrey, JENNIFER, JEFFLEY. Look at the Crime Watch videos. I mean, now, but I gotta say the investigative reporting on this case was good. They did a good job in presenting this case. But we have to go beyond that. We have to look into the humanity side. We have to understand that this is a life. And we have to understand that the reason why rules and laws were set in place to keep this type of thing from happening. But when you put a person with a, with a damaged heart, cops with racist cops with a lazy cops, then the outcome is a situation like what Miss Jennifer Jeffrey is facing. This should not be. She should be released immediately. They should go find the real killers, who was stated in a statement that she had didn't know who Ernest or Tim was. Watch the video. Watch how the railroading began. And it started with not allowing the grandmother. It started with driving off. See, it was dirty when they drove off. When she went in the house to get her purse, and they drove off and left her there after they said, yeah, you can follow. It was already predetermined in their mind that, look, we finna use our intelligence. We're older than this 8th grader. We're going to cross up. She doesn't know the law, didn't study the law. We're going to cross up, get her to sign a written confession, and send her, and the case closed. And the laziness and lack of time and attention that they spent on this case should upset Miss Maria Palomino's family. You mean to tell me you're not going to do your due diligence in finding the killer of my loved one? You're not going to go over evidence? You're not going to prove that the murder weapon and the fingerprints and blood was on her? This is Verbal Pig Radio. And we're going to keep bringing you topics as this magnitude, because it's unjust. It's unfair. It shouldn't be. And it's actually sad that we have to go through something like this in today's time. You know, it's really unfair. And like I stated, it's really unfair to both parties. And I really hope that the people get behind this thing. Show the youth, show the next generation what justice looks like. Show them how you properly handle a case, investigate a case, deal with the case. Show them everything that you can show them. Teach them on how things are supposed to be done. Because you can obviously see that it's not right. It's not fair. It never should have came to that. We want to see. We actually want to know. We want to put and actually hold people accountable. Because, like I said, there's no way that a person should be treated like that. This is Verbal Pick Radio, and we're out.